What is good? What is good, everybody? It's good to be back. It couldn't be more ecstatic. Yeah, man. I mean, it's great. It's you can't if you're just out there doing mocks right now and it's July and I mean, I don't know. I was doing mocks in June even. Uh, you might as well just go ahead and go over and do a best ball where you got the actual. I mean, people are more serious. You just put down $1 to $10. Me and Corey, we're looking at a $50 one. They range from different prices. You get in with 10 people, and they're instead of worrying about people auto drafting, you actually got a little money involved into it. And winner take all. You got roster sizes with quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, flex, defense, no kicker. So they don't acquire points weekly. You don't have to set your roster basically from a week to week basis. That's the beauty of best ball, and they just take your highest scoring players and throw them boys into your lineup, and you just let them roll. And so basically, you're drafting for season long. There ain't no waiver wire in here, so it's fun. It's just a nice little draft. You're drafting for upside. I sometimes draft some guys I wouldn't draft in a redraft league traditionally, but yeah, man, I love it. Oh, thanks, brother. Upside, man. I'm mostly just all upside when I'm drafting here, and you know, I usually at least draft two of each. I don't like in a redraft. I don't always draft two quarterbacks or two tight ends, but when I'm playing best ball, I'm going to draft two quarterbacks, usually two tight ends, at two defenses. Like it's just I'll probably end up coming out with 5, 6 running up. I usually always end up maxing out the running backs at six, and then I'll get 5 receivers ish, two tight ends, two quarterbacks, two defenses. So what lobby are you getting over in ESPN here, brother? Um, yeah, I guess I'll go 7. Um, in the meantime here, I guess I could go over. I just did a $20 best ball league here. And this is just some of the players I got here. I went with Dak Prescott, starting quarterback. Yeah, like last night I did a $20 best ball. Seventh, actually. No, I'm picking four in our league. Yeah, Dakota Rain Prescott, my friend. Yeah, man. I mean, I think it could. You never know. It could end up getting up there close to the 4,700 passing yards and 30 touchdowns. And that Mike McCarthy three wide receiver sets with CD, Cooper, Gallup. Jarwin looked pretty impressive. He looks a little better than Witten did. Witten got Witten got 60 receptions with 60 targets or something last year. Blake Jarwin. And he looks impressive. Yeah, nice little sleep. Running back one, we are looking at take us down the receivers. Derrick Henry. Yeah. Yeah, he just banked that 4 year, $50 million, man. Yeah, he's. I could pull those boys up. It's looking like a good. It's looking like a good season. I mean, the only thing that does concern is obviously the injury, but you could never predict injury really for me. But he could easily be in that 1,400 yard range again, man. He just gets so much work in that offense, and Tannehill, he was completing at a just insane rate last year. His yards per attempt were, I believe it was 10 yards an attempt or 11 or something outrageous, and you had AJ Brown getting 10 or 20 yards per reception. There's no way I can expect AJ Brown to complete 20 yards per reception and Ryan Tannehill to replicate the same numbers he got last season. It's just the efficiency was way too crazy to expect again. As long as they don't see an injury, I do think that on some passing downs, you could see Mr. Darrington Evans come walking in a little bit here and there. Yeah, at Appalachian State, he's a pretty pass happy little guy. He's kind of fits what they were trying to. I remember when they brought Deion Lewis in, they tried to really tried to make that work, and it just wasn't. It seems like this kid could really be what they were looking for there. Yeah, and Jonathan Taylor and that guy, the beast out of Wisconsin, man. Oh, this guy, he can handle a big solid workload because Wisconsin just gave it to him, man. They funneled that offense through him at Wisconsin, and I could arguably say he has the best offensive line in the NFL now. He's hands down a better prospect than Marlon Mack was when he came out. Think he's a better runner than Marlon Mack is right now. Um, Marlon Mack also benefited a lot from that offensive line last year that everyone saw. His yards per carry were pretty looked great about that offensive line. And now you have an upgrade not only at quarterback, but Jonathan Taylor I think is just going to be he's going to separate himself from the pack very early in the season. And he's going to get a lot of work in this offense behind this line. I could see 12, like just like a kind of like a Derrick Henry type looking season, man. He doesn't do a whole lot of work in the passing game, so he's just gonna eat on the ground. But he can eat on the ground. He could go get, like I said, 12, 1,300 yards. Not really, to be honest with you. Like, what are you gonna do? We'll make this a 1-2 punch for what? Like, it's if the guy's hands. I mean, the guy's gonna. I think the guy's head and shoulders. Like, he's way better than this. I think he's gonna separate himself from Marlon Mack very, very quick. You're gonna be able to see the difference. And Marlon Mack just doesn't do anything better than Jonathan Taylor. He doesn't catch the ball. He doesn't pass block better than Jonathan Taylor. He doesn't. The only thing I guess you could knock on Jonathan Taylor, like that people are still talking about, was maybe holding onto the ball. But I think he can improve that area of his game. Yeah, yeah, no, we got our mock. Let me get this pick in real quick. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I gotta do here, brother? I can't. Yeah, I gotta do it. Michael Thomas. Who dat? Yeah, you got Kevin Stefanski, man. I mean, you just watched Dalvin Cook do it last season. The only knock you still have on Nick Chubb is that Kareem Hunt's still there. But, Nick Chubb, I still think he can be that top 15, top 12 running back in this season with Kareem Hunt being still a top 25, top 20 guy. Um, they're both going to produce. They can be on the field at the same time. And the good thing for Nick Chubb is that, I mean, Kareem Hunt gets most of his work in the passing game. And Kevin Stefanski, if you just watch the Minnesota Vikings offense last season, I don't even think they threw 500 pass attempts last season. They ran and ran and ran and ran that football. Even when Dalvin Cook was down, they ran the football some more with Mike Boone and Madison and CJ Ham. So I think that's what Stefanski's going to come in here and do, and he's going to really, like you said, implement that play action with Baker Mayfield. He's got to gotta get that play action going for Baker and get that. I think it's going to really help him out this season a lot. I don't know if it's going to make Baker super fantasy relevant because, like I said, just look at Kirk Cousins last season. The passing production, it just wasn't there because they didn't even throw 500 passing attempts. Yeah. Oh man, it's not going to be fair, especially now in men. You got Sanders on the opposite side. You got Cook that can go in the red zone. Kamara run them wheels and screens. Ooh, it's gonna be. Can't wait to use them. Yeah, it's hard to take away targets from Michael Thomas. That was my big knock. Actually, we got I was going to talk about Emmanuel Sanders actually later on and talk. I just don't. I was trying to do my projections on the Saints for the season, and I'm trying to figure out where Emmanuel Sanders' targets are going to come from. And it's like, you're okay. You're not taking targets away from Michael Thomas. Um, Jared Cook, maybe you could take a couple. You could take a little bit of it, but you're not. Where are you getting Jared Cook's targets from? Because he's more up in the middle, so it's just hard to see him taking targets from Cook and Kamara very much. It's a mess of a situation for Sanders over there, and I do like Michael Thomas just kind of stay where he was at from last season. Uh, this one hurt. This one really hurt. We had Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Ashton Eckler, Kenny Galladay, DJ Moore available. I went with Joe Mixon. I needed a running back. I needed a running back because it was hard looking at Chris Godwin on the board right there. Even Mike Evans and Kenny Galladay and DJ Moore. Um, I'm not sure why ESPN has DJ Moore ranked under Kenny Galladay, but I'm high on Kenny Galladay this season. Um, it's a weird one looking at it. I know it was tough. It was tough. I just feel like you got to get a running back early, man. Yeah. Well, you see, my two guys I'm very, very high on in that Bengals offense this season actually is going to be Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd, man. You see what Burrow did in that LSU offense with Justin Jefferson and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jamar Chase, even AJ Green can eat too. With um, these guys, Joe Burrow is going to come in. I actually just ran down the Bengals projections. I had Joe Burrow somewhere over, I know it was over 4,000 yards. Actually, I have it right here. I have him for 563 passing attempts for 4,053 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 236 rushing yards on the ground and another touchdown. So I think he's very, very undervalued right now in the fantasy world, in my opinion. I think someone's going to grab him up off the waiver wire somewhere, and they're going to be super, super happy with what they get. Yeah. Hmm. Him being there, though, is going to, oh man, it's going to help out Tyler Boyd, AJ Green, and Joe Mixon so much. So much. Well, that's what the thing is that people are looking at the draft this year, and then Justin Jefferson was a big name in the draft, and they see, oh, he got covered a lot, and then see what Joe Burrow did with him, but then they forget Jamar Chase is still in the NCAA, and he's the best receiver probably in the whole entire book. So, and Joe Burrow did a lot with him too, and he does a lot of the same things AJ Green can do. And maybe not as more because AJ Green lost a little bit of a step in that speed department, but um, ooh, and I get the guys I wanted from the last round. I would have took this guy in the end of round two, probably, man. I'm gonna go DJ Moore. Yeah, I'm gonna say 120 plus targets for this man this season with Teddy B. I'm guessing probably around 80 receptions. He's definitely getting over another 1,000 yard season. Another top, probably. I think he could be. He could honestly have a top 10 fantasy season if he gets in there. But I'm thinking more top 12, 15 ish. Hmm. Hmm. See, I love to bet on talent, and Odell Beckham obviously is a talent. He's if I'd say he's probably one of the top 3 to 5 talents at his position in the NFL. It's the volume that scares me. Like I said with Kevin Stefanski and that system now coming in, and also it almost seems like in their 10 years there in Cleveland, it seems like Jarvis has kind of been like the better Browns receiver. Yeah, yeah. More play action. Yes, I do like Terry McLaurin. The only problem I have with Terry McLaurin is that DK Metcalf is in that same range, and I like DK Metcalf more. Yeah, I almost went Clyde Edwards-Helaire in that Chiefs system. I'm just still a little hesitant, man. I feel like it might be almost kind of like a Miles Sanders situation from last season where it takes 4 to 6 weeks to really get him going in that role. I know he's the better back than Damian Williams. It's just that is Andy Reid going to just throw him in right away? I just don't know what Andy Reid's going to do. Well, well, my thing was James Conner. I know he has the starting job for week one. I know he's going to be the starter, so I don't have to worry about that spot week one. It's just yeah, yeah. That I think honestly, if you told me right now that James Conner for sure is playing 16 games this season, he'd be going easily another round and a half earlier. Oh man, yeah. Yeah. People are expecting a nice jump for Deontay. Deontay should help Juju get open a little bit, in my opinion. And now they got Ebron. What's also going to help? It's also going to help the running game, and they can run all those two tight end sets they run. It's just I would feel more comfortable in round six with this guy, to be honest with you, than round five, especially with Moss coming in, who is a better version of Frank Gore, in my opinion. And man, see, I got. Ooh, this is such a tough decision. Mm, 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 mm. What do I want to do here? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with DJ Chark. I was debating between Chark, Metcalf, and Boyd, and it came down to Metcalf and Chark, and I almost said, you know what, Metcalf's got the better quarterback. But Jacksonville's going to be behind in every single game they play this year. And DJ Shark was a top five wide receiver going into 10 weeks throughout the season last year. The guy broke out last year, so I know what I'm getting in him, and I like it. Yeah, I mean, but you can't knock it when he's healthy. I'm 99% sure when he's healthy, he's never finished under a wide receiver 15. So it's AJ Green. So I mean, it's yeah, we go. Yeah, yeah. It'll give me a little update. Oh, see, I like it. I think he's got a nice upside. My only skepticism, because I've gotten him in a couple of draft mocks as well. My only skepticism on Ronald is with Brady there, and they just brought in that Keshawn Vaughn. Vaughn is definitely a better pass blocker than Ronald Jones. Um, so that was my only concern about Ronald Jones is if Bruce Arians gets and Tom Brady were like, get this guy on the field blocking for me. I'm tired of this. So, but I do think Ronald Jones is definitely the better runner at this point right now. I think it's going to take another season probably another season or two for Vaughn to really get his flow. He's almost like a Ronald Jones 2.0 with his running, the way I thought he ran in college. Let's do it. No, my friend, I have not. Mr. Late Round quarterback usually here. Although this year, I am looking at. I'll give you that real quick. I'm late. I'm looking at kind of like I think Cam Newton's undervalued right now. Like I said, Joe Burrow's undervalued. Um, Big Ben, I think he could come in and throw 600, 620 balls this year. Um, oh my gosh, get out of here. Oh my gosh. We've got 6 minutes till that begins. So let's finish our ESPN. See, I think they've seen a lot of inconsistent numbers out of him last year. Granted, he was injured, and I feel like they just don't throw the ball as much in Buffalo. And Josh Allen, he's a deep ball runner, and Josh Allen is kind of inaccurate with that deep ball. No, you're not going to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Um, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go Mr. Brandon Cooks, the Houston Texans now, wide receiver one. Yeah, I mean, the guy's. I'm pretty sure he gets 1,000 yards every. Yeah, it was like my Skype just crashed. I did. I almost went Kamara. I took Saquon. I know, I know, I know. It's horrible. Um, no, no more ESPN for me. That was just a little meantime, an appetizer. Yeah, absolutely. So Corey, obviously, I'm thinking took Mr. CMC. Yup, with his first pick. Ridiculous. He's gonna eat again. I mean, even if you take 25% off the next kid's workload, he would have got running back one last year. It's insane. It's there's a reason he's the consensus running back pick one. Um, I took Saquon. I think honestly, I normally would have took Kamara here. Glad that Corey's gone because now I can talk a little bit better strategy. With our show me league, I don't like saying a little some too many of my secrets, but yeah, Kamara I think could honestly is going to end up having a better season than Mr. Saquon Barkley. That schedule, like Corey was saying, for Saquon is just horrible, especially the first month of the season. I don't really want a guy where I'm just going to be petrified each week for the first quarter of the year, putting him into my lineup. But this is best ball. It's not redraft. I don't have to worry about this on a weekly basis, plugging in and plugging out. So We're going Saquon. Uh, Next up, I'm going win. I can't pass up Nuke Hopkins with the Cardinals. I was thinking about Godwin, but I think I think Kyler's gonna just be slinging that boy this year. Now I gotta go, and I'm gonna go with yuck. All right, George Kittle. Yeah, I could have went Godwin. I almost did, but I think we'll secure that tight end position. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I usually, I normally in the first 5 rounds, there's just so many. That's where you get your breakout guys, and it's just that's where I normally don't like to target quarterbacks or tight ends. But when it comes to Kelsey and Kittle, I mean these guys are just studs. It's hard to you're getting an edge up every single week at that position when you get one of them guys. Yeah, yeah. Saquon Barkley, Nuke Hopkins, and George Kittle. I didn't get to that division yet. I'm still in the AFC uh, right now, but I would say if I had to guess right now, I would say he's going to come down a little bit from last season. I mean, they didn't have it. It's all Deshaun. Deshaun Watson was just pepper him with targets. Every quarterback he's ever had would just pepper him. But now he's got Christian Kirk, Ken Drake, Larry Fitzgerald. Um, they like to run those four wide receiver sets now. So I think they spread the ball a little bit around more. You're not going to take 40 targets away from Christian Kirk. So it's like trying to project it all out. I think he comes down just a little bit, but he's still going to be a wide receiver one. Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at these top two guys right now, to be honest with you. I think I got to go running back early. I got to attack these running backs. I'm not really liking a lot of the. It's looking like a fall off after this. So I'm going to go Todd Gurley here. Yeah. Yeah, I went Calvin Ridley. Yeah, that was gonna two. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they get a lot of output, man. I mean, their wide receivers put out, their quarterback puts out, their running back puts out. You got their tight end last year gave out in fantasy. So I mean, they spread the ball around well. Yeah, I think he's a little overvalued. Well, everyone that has talked about him, any scout you hear, they say he's the most refined wide receiver they've covered since they've got into the business, and he's the most polished route runner they've ever seen. Yeah, absolutely. It's always, I mean, it takes them a year, the wide receivers, the rookie years, you gotta give them a year. Um, I don't like a lot of the options here, so I think I'm just gonna go Dak. Dakota Rain. I'm gonna go with. I'm thinking. I need some running back help here. I'm gonna go with the upside on Cam Akers. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, yeah. Um, so I'm really liking. I like James White this year with Cam in there. I think James White brings a lot of upside to that offense. Obviously, if you look at the backs that Cam's had and how they've benefited from pass catching. Um, J.K. Dobbins, I see a lot of upside from him. I can see him over taking that job. And I mean, who runs the ball more in the league right now than the Baltimore Ravens? Um, on Johnson has upside, I believe. People were just drafting him as a top 15 running back last season. Now he's all the way down here in round 9. You know what I'm saying? You got Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup out targeted Mari Cooper last season before he got injured. It was uh, yeah. If you'd have played a full 16 games, he would have outproduced Amari Cooper. Exactly. And so what some people might not realize is Jason Witten and Randall Cobb leaving. That's about 120 targets they free up. I would say personally, Amari Cooper stays kind of where he was at last season, and you're going to see more of Gallup, and CD Lamb will get some of those targets, and Blake Jarwin obviously take some of the targets. I actually like Jordan Howard, to be honest with you. So some people don't realize is Jordan Howard's younger than Derrick Henry, and if you look at his stats, I mean he's got more rushing yards. He's outproduced Derrick Henry in his career. Yes. But you gotta think about it because Derrick Henry had DeMarco Murray and like he had a slow start. He just kind of busted out in the scene the last like 2 seasons. Yeah, I'm about to take my guy. Julian Edelman. I like it, man. Like I said, I've already been talking Tyler Boyd up. I like the guy a lot this season. I think he can do a lot of good things, and he can play a similar style to that Justin Jefferson role. Julian Edelman, I think he speaks for himself. When the guy's healthy, when he plays 16 games, he never gets under 150 targets. And even when he doesn't play 16 games, he averages out to 150 targets. Like he's a PPR machine, and I think he stays that way. I think Cam's gonna love Julian Edelman. Yeah, I am higher on Nikhil Harry now because I mean he could take a similar DJ Chark like jump in my opinion, man. I do like that take. James White, even though I just took Edelman, I do still like White. I think Marvin Jones is underrated in the best ball format. J.K. Dobbins, I said. Uh, yeah, Coleman. No, no, yeah, Coleman's got upside. Breida. They already traded Breida. Mostert wants out. You still got Jarek McKinnon. Probably not. I got two other guys I would take before him. I had three other guys. So I already have a tight end, and to be honest with you, I did my projections on the Miami Dolphins, and Mike Gesicki could get 90 targets, dude. I could see him getting up there in the 90, 100 target range. No, I've got Kittle already, so I'm gonna go James White. Yeah, and I'm gonna go J.K. Dobbins. Now, had I taken Alvin Kamara instead of Saquon, I might have gone Latavius Murray there. I think he's I think he's the absolute perfect fit for this what this Baltimore Ravens team wants to do in the play style. I mean, he's going to fit perfectly with Lamar Jackson. Um, I don't think. I mean, I do think it does. I do think it's going to be similar to what I said with CH. I don't think he just comes in and steals the job from Mark Ingram. But this could be a similar style to what Kamara and Ingram had in New Orleans. Like I said, who runs the ball more than the Baltimore Ravens right now in the NFL? It's so this is a very, very good situation for J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram, in my opinion. I think J.K. Dobbins can give you high upside running back two numbers after you get a quarter way into the season, and while Mark Ingram still gives you flex numbers. Because my only thing is, I mean, they still were a committee backfield last season. Mark Ingram, a lot of people don't realize it. I don't think he even topped 15 rushes in a game last year. Yeah, he's he's always he's always had that other guy, Pierre Thomas, Darren Sproles, Galvin Kamara. I Justice, but I was more about the Gus. I was on the Gus train. See, I think Ingram takes that Gus role, but Dobbins is the better back. I'm gonna go Anthony Miller. So he obviously showed his upside last year. Now you got Nick Foles coming in. He loves his slot wide receivers. He's going to be targeting Anthony Miller up the middle quite often, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess I'll go there next. There you go. I'm gonna go Chicago. All right, and that'll do it. Absolutely. Just it's been great to be back. And make sure you get in on that Call of Duty tournament.